You've been following a lot of arrests of PFI members all across the country. There have been two phases so far, but have all the kingpins been arrested? The answer is no. One of their critical persons, one of their main founders, is right now holed up in the United States of America. I'm going to show you a chart that traces the relationship between Pakistan, ISI, and some of the funding sources in the Middle East, PFI, and how they are wreaking havoc in United States also. So here we go. You may have seen this one before. This is from disinfolab.org. We have gone over this at length. So this is just to give you a big picture idea as to how many different sources are being funded. You have to look at the disinfolab.org. I'll give you the exact link. It's called Operation TUPAC, TUPAC. You can take a look at that to understand. It's a fairly detailed document, 100 pages long, to understand the linkages, because this goes all the way up to the USCIRF. No one should have any doubts about how this entire thing was funded once you have seen this video. It's also a warning to many of the congressmen, women, and senators who are seeking funding from some of these dubious alphabet soup organizations, because as more revelations come, your linkages to all these organizations will make your position very tenuous. So be forewarned, because there's a lot of revelations. They're going to come up, and that will have specific names and individuals or organizations. And once you are taken, once you have your picture taken with some of these people, your credibility takes a hit. November is not very far away, hardly 6 weeks now. So things are beginning to heat up in the United States. So here we go. The key people in PFI, and this graphic comes thanks to OSINT. And you can see that Mr. Koya has been arrested. The Popular Front of India founding members, Mr. Rahman, Abdul Rahman, Nasiruddin, and Abu Bakr have been arrested. But 𝙒𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤, one of the SIMI founders, is still at large. And where is he? He is holed up in? He is holed up in the United States, it is believed. Now, what is happening is he has partnered with a Pakistani individual called Abdul Malik Mujahid, and the two of them have started something called Justice for All. Justice for All had another short-term name that funded the USCIRF to try and put India in the most watched list. So you can see that the USCIRF on its own did not determine that India wanted to be on that list. It was being funded by someone. They say, take this money and put India in the list. And here is the proof. Most dubious proof of the most dubious kind. So that is one part. Now, Justice for All also shares the platform with Indian American Muslim Council. This dubious organization is now calling for all sorts of things all over the United States and Canada. So you should be, aware when you see these alphabet soup characters, they're all the same people. They're all taking money from the same sources. In fact, these are also tied up with CAIR, Council for American Islamic Relations. So you can see that this whole thing is a one big nexus. And what have they done in India? Let's take a quick look. What the investigating agencies have unearthed is that out of the 85 bank accounts that they looked at, 36 of them were suspect. By suspect, what it means is that the amounts that were in these accounts did not support the financial profile of the account holder. For instance, if the account holder is a clerk and if he has 10 crores in his bank account, clearly there is something wrong. That's the kind of example I'm trying to give. I'm not saying this happened, but what I'm trying to say is that's what the agencies have unearthed. Next, what are the sources of funding for PFI? The ways that they are funding it is zakat, which is I think 10%. Anybody who is a true Muslim, they get shaken down for 10% of their salaries. That's one. Then hawala. Hawala is the one that needs to really stop. I don't know when that's going to stop. I mean, it has been there for hundreds of years. So one can make the argument that you can never wish hawala away. And money laundering. Now, how money laundering happens, how Hawala happens. I have detailed all this in my book, Who Painted My Money White? So you are encouraged to read that book to understand in some detail how these things work. Now, PFI is supposed to have executive lists or executive committees in various countries where they are trying to raise funding. The countries are United Arab Emirates, Oman, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. In other words, a lot of people have been set in place to try and keep this organization floating and funded. Now, all these things are under the radar. There are a couple of articles that I'm going to give links off to you in the description section. You're encouraged to read that to get into the more finer details of what is going on. Is this the end? Absolutely not. This is just the beginning. You can see that after all these arrests, there have been some lash out. There have been some destruction of public damage and so on and so forth. In a different video, I have told you about how Kerala State Road Transport Corporation is suing PFI for 5 crores in the Kerala High Court. Kerala High Court has already taken suo moto action of an illegal flash hartal that PFI had done, and they said that this hartal has to stop. This happened a few days ago. A lot of things are happening, and we will keep you posted as these developments take place. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.